Hi Curious and welcome back. Today's episode is dedicated to Shiloh Jolie Pitt and the relationship that she has with her sister Zahara. It's no secret that the siblings can have differences about all sorts of things, but how serious is the situation between the two sisters? Are Shiloh and Zahara close? Is there any jealousy between the two sisters? Is there any favoritism between the two girls in the eyes of their parents, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt? What is the relationship between the Jolie Pitt kids like, and how do they treat each other? Stay with us until the very end to find out whether there are any tensions between the Jolie daughters, but before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, turn on the notifications, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. As we have said at the beginning of this video, it's a normal thing for siblings to fight and have their own differences, and chances are that many of you will agree with that. Unless you are an only child, that is, but even then, at school, squabbles like that break out between kids. And all the time, even those who are considered best friends. But for now, let us look at the Jolie Pitt family. And although Brad is no longer living under the same roof as Angelina, they still see a lot of each other as they are still in a continuous battle of custody, and despite the court recently awarding them joint custody, it seems that Angelina still plans to get the judge to change his mind, though right now there haven't been any updates about that. But if you want to know more about what's going on between the two adults as well as their ongoing court battle, we recommend you check out our video Angelina Jolie playlist. And if you want to know whether Angie has gone back to her first husband, you can check out our previous video titled Angelina Romance with Her Ex-Husband to Heal After Brad Pitt. But back to the topic of the children, and many fans know that the actress has said several times that she feels an affinity for her adopted children more than her biological ones. So who do you think is her favorite between Shiloh and Zahara? And now here, before you go on, tell us that parents don't have their favorites. Let's be honest, there's always one. But back to the famous children, there are obvious signs that the media has pointed out that there is an obvious favorite between Jolie's daughters, so to make sure, stay with us until the very end to find out who that is. Okay, onto the subject of the family. In one way or another, education is always a challenge, and especially if you're in the public eye and the paparazzi want to capture a glimpse of everything that you do, so it can be blown into the spotlight and spread into the media. But in addition to this, where the multicultural families are concerned, there's also issues of race and cultures to some extent that could potentially be challenging to some. And however, keeping the situation under control, and above all, respect and tolerance between these cultural clashes can have amazing results, and especially for the children who are part of such families and get to grow up in this mix of cultures and languages. And while for Angelina it is important for her adoptive children to grow up knowing about their cultures, you can imagine how much work she and Brad had on their hands. And however, she is the one who has had the children with her most of the time, which is undoubtedly a challenge as a parent alone. But there are also other challenges, as she has also recently revealed that the children present symptoms and reactions to different illnesses differently. So this adds to another degree of difficulty there for the mother of 6. And according to the health professional that spoke with the Times, there are studies being conducted, but we'll tell you more about that in a moment. As many of you will know, Jolie's kids were born in different countries. The twins Vivian and Knox were born in France, Pax and Maddox from Vietnam and Cambodia respectively, and not forgetting the protagonists of today's video, Shiloh and Namibia, and Zahara in Ethiopia. Possibly such differences as well as the age gaps could play into creating issues for the family's coexistence and unity. And it doesn't help that the media follow into their every single step, such as when Shiloh had made the headlines in 2021 after she appeared in public with a radical change of an image, in addition to it being clear that she's not a little girl that everyone remembered her to be, but she's a teenager now. And if you want to know all about that, you can check out our previous video titled Shiloh Jolie Pitt for Angelina's daughter, It Was Only a Phase, by clicking on the link above. Regarding what we have mentioned about Angelina and the changes that comes with having such varied family, proof of that is that she can't always keep them together, and even for the red carpet events. Although over time, we have been able to see that there is a special connection between Jolie, Shiloh, and Zahara, as they have been seen shopping together many times, as well as their iconic appearance at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, where fans could undisputedly see the sisters undeniably united. So now let's move on to talk specifically about the relationship between those two sisters. And while Shiloh is Angelina and Brad's first biological child, when she was born, Zahara was close to turning 1, and now she is 16, with Shiloh being 15. The girls are a similar age, and in fact growing up in the Brangelina media craze is something that surely might have helped them become even closer. Plus, they have a lot in common, such as being born in Africa. And while Shiloh was born in Namibia and her sister in Ethiopia, they were born on the other side of the continent. However, besides this connection, they have plenty more in common, such as sharing taste for sports. In fact, both of them have been training to play soccer, and in an interview with OK Magazine, Pitt spoke of how proud he had felt of his daughters. Another thing that the two share in common is friends. They're actually very close to Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown, and they had even been photographed together with Brown, even posting of them on social media. So do you think that maybe if the Jolie Pitt girls would like to follow in their parents' footsteps into the world of acting, if their friend could help them get a role in the Netflix show? And if you want to know more about their friend, you can do so by checking out our previous video titled Millie Bobby Brown, the youngest UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. And you can do so by clicking on the link above now. Speaking of acting though, Zahara already has had some connection to the entertainment world by lending her voice to Kung Fu Panda 3, and she also shared an uncredited role alongside her brother Pax in the Maleficent movie. And Maddox had starred alongside Angelina in the film First They Killed My Father, one that she also directed. And of course, everyone knows that her daughter Vivian is the one who played baby Aurora in the movie Maleficent, as she was the only child not afraid of her mother in costume. As for Shiloh, on IMDb, she is credited as an actress known for Kung Fu Panda VH1, All Access, and Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards 2015. So curious, at this point, it seems that the two sisters have very similar tastes. But does that help in the relationship between the two sisters? Especially talking about the fact that allegedly they both want to be mom and dad's favorites. And although they might pick up a few things from their parents such as habits, etc., which one of them is following in Angelina's footsteps in an impressive way. Stay with us until the very end to find out, but not before finding out what health problems Angelina has faced and ones that had made her discover a blind spot in the field of being a multiracial family. And just as you heard it, Curious, Jolie spoke about how almost the images and data used in her medical education were based on studies of white patients, which in her own words can lead to misdiagnosis, suffering, and even the loss of one's life. Angelina had said that she has had this problem with her own children, and talking about it she says, "I have children from different backgrounds, and I know what they had when they had a rash, and it looked drastically different depending on the color of skin. And whenever I looked at the medical records, the benchmark was always white skin." And talking specifically about Zahara, she said that recently her daughter had surgery, and a nurse told her to give them a call if her skin had turned pink. And a student who's doing research on the above had said that experiences like Jolie's are the kind of cases that should be documented, where there is a language and culture that exists in the medical profession, because as it's been done for so many years, and because they're still doing it so many years later, it doesn't seem to be a problem. And moving on to the topic of which of the girls is the favorite, well, you will remember that we mentioned before that Jolie has a great affinity with her adopted children. However, let's take into account various factors that the media has pointed out. Well, the girls are this age where they are defining their tastes and personalities. Besides at home, they have the best example to follow, for which most children will always be their parents. So who are they most similar to? Well, for example, Angelina has revealed that she and Zahara use the same line of fragrances. However, it's not that they're just similarities, and as Jolie had stated, that none of her children are interested in acting besides Zahara, who is the one who could be interested in venturing down that road in the future. And the fact is already undertaken several projects, and on more than one occasion, her mother has called her an extraordinary African woman. The Tomb Raider actress has also said that she's learned a lot from her daughter. So Curious, although it may seem that they have many similarities and we can see them between Angelina and Zahara, it seems undisputable that Shiloh is the one who the media is obsessed with. And many had also speculated that in the past, while Jolie's oldest biological daughter had short hair and dressed like a boy, could it be that she wanted to be more like her older brothers while her sister wanted to be more like their mother? But both Angelina and Brad have said many times that their love for their children is immense proof of which is their custody battle, which it looks like Jolie is not done at all with. So Curious, what do you think about the Jolie Pitt sisters? Do you think Shiloh wanted to be more like her brothers? And do you think that one day we could see Shiloh or Zahara acting alongside their friend Millie Bobby Brown, or even all three of them together? What do you think of the feuds between the siblings are like? And let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Until next time.